Y'all like doing this, don't y'all? Y'all really do. Y'all do this to me year after year, draft after draft, every single year, every single draft. Y'all do this exact same to me. Like, what's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're gonna talk some basketball, Orlando Magic basketball. Today we're gonna break down the 2021 NBA draft for the Orlando Magic. They had 2 lottery picks, 2 top 10 picks at the pick at 5, and the pick at 8. They took Jalen Suggs at 5, which was a steal in my personal opinion. I'm happy for that pick. I was excited, and then pick 8 hit, and they drafted Franz Wagner. Nothing against Franz Wagner, but are you serious? Are you kidding me? Like, is that really what you doing? Like, okay, like I said, I was happy about the Jalen Suggs pick. I think Jalen Suggs is going to fit in well with Orlando. You got you a floor general. You got you a guy who's a facilitator, a guy who's been compared to Jason Kidd. I like that. He's real good friends with RJ Hampton and Cole Anthony. I think that's a young core that can do some damage. That can do some magical damage. Keyword magical. Yeah, like I did that. Okay, cool. I think you're starting something right there. I think you building something right there, and I like that. And pick 8 was coming, and I was getting excited because the NBA was serving it to you on a silver platter. They gave you an actual true facilitator, a floor general. They gave it to you. It took the bait at 5. They were serving it back to you at 8. You needed a scorer, and they get Franz Wagner. Again, this organization has had the same problem since 2003, since 2004, since the moment they traded Trace McGrady to Houston. They don't have a bona fide scorer. They don't have a guy who can get you 20 to 25 a night, easy, guaranteed, in his sleep. They don't have that type of guy. They should have took Moody or Bouknight. I've been on the Moody camp for a long time. I've been on the Moody camp after we got guaranteed with the 5th and 8th pick, and I did my research. I've been on the Moody train since then. And I said, I'm cool if they take Bouknight. If they take Bouknight, I was cool with it. After we drafted Jalen Suggs, I was like, they didn't take Bouknight. Even though I like Moses Moody, I think Moses Moody has a higher floor than Bouknight. Because Bouknight is just that, a scorer, a guy who gets buckets. I think you take him and you comp him with Jalen Suggs. I know we got RJ, I know we got Cole, and then you have 4 guards. If I would be a large number of guards, okay, cool. That's the problem I'm willing to have. You got a lot of talent at the guard positions. Eventually, there could be trade bait down the road. I know people might not want to hear that, but there could be potential trade bait down the road when it comes to something else. When it comes to a superstar, whatever the case may be. But I like that type of idea. I like that type of core, and I think that would have hurt you, benefit you more. And I think the Magic are going to regret not drafting Bouknight. And then you allow Bouknight to go to Charlotte to play with LaMelo. Because that's right there, LaMelo Ball and Bouknight is going to be a problem. An absolute problem for everybody in this division. It's going to be a problem in these. That's going to be a deadly backcourt with those 2 guys in there. I think those guys are going to grow with the way that LaMelo was out there facilitating the ball. The way he can facilitate the ball and the way that Bouknight scores. They're going to be an absolute problem. And you allowed it to happen. The NBA was serving it to you right there on a silver platter, giving you a score. And again, I would have took Moody. Like, if we would have took Moody, that would have been cool too. You got you a shooter. You got somebody who can play defense. He's going to be, at the very least, be a good 3-and-D guy. Potentially, especially with the way that Suggs can facilitate the ball and be able to run the floor. Possibly be somebody. Possibly be a legit 2 guard. But I do think that Bouknight would have fit just a little bit more. And I think that everything would have worked out well. Again, you're talking about we got RJ Hampton, we got Cole Anthony, even got Markelle Fultz. I understand that it would be a large jam at the guard position. I understand that, and I get that. But at the same time, that's a problem I'm willing to have. Because I just don't like this Franz Wagner pick. I know we got his brother Mo. I just don't see it. I don't think this is a good pick because again, you have not solved the problem that we have had since the moment we traded Trace McGrady to Houston. Is that you don't have you a bona fide scorer. You don't got you a guy who go out there and get 20-25 a night easy. Everybody saying I think that Jonathan Isaac probably could be that guy. Yeah, if you force feed him. That's how Dwight was able to get the points he got. That's how Nikola was able to get the point. Yeah, Nikola was a 2-time All-Star, averaged 20 points, and I think this past year was averaging like 22 points a game. Yes, I understand that, but they were force fed the ball. They were force fed the ball. They weren't getting shots just natural. It wasn't like how Trace McGrady was out there balling. It wasn't like Penny and Shaq back in the day balling. You haven't had no bona fide guy since then. Now who knows? Maybe Chuma could be this guy. I've seen a lot of promise in Chuma this past year, so maybe Chuma can be that guy. RJ, he's been working on his game. Cole, we already know what Cole can do. So who knows? Maybe these guys can. Hopefully, even maybe Jalen Suggs can. But at the end of the day, you had an opportunity to get a guy like that, and you let it slip through your fingers. And that's what I mean by every single time when something is served up right to you, you go left. Now, I've been wrong a couple times. Like I said, I was wrong on the Jonathan Isaac. I see that Jonathan Isaac is going to be a defensive monster. I don't really know offensively how Jonathan Isaac is going to be going forward. He's just not. He wasn't a scorer at Florida State. I'm just be honest with you. But I feel like he's going to be a defensive monster, defensive player of the year, a candidate person every single year. He's going to be in the conversation for defensive player of the year. It looks like early on, I know it's only been a small sample size. It was a COVID-led season with only 70-something games, and he didn't play all the games. But it looked like I could be wrong on Chuma. I wasn't high on Chuma coming out of the draft. I really didn't know too much about him, and I was kind of upset when the Magic drafted Chuma. But after I watched tape on Chuma, I kind of dialed it back a little bit. And for what I've seen this past season, especially after the trade, I actually like what Chuma could do. And I think that Chuma can be a scoring option. Chuma might be the best shooter on the team outside of Terrence Ross. I'm just talking about from the young guy's perspective. So I actually like what Chuma can do and what Chuma can bring. And I think that maybe Jalen Suggs can help bring some more stuff out of him and maybe help Chuma grow. Remember, Chuma technically was a rookie this past season. So Chuma does have a lot of experience to gain and a lot of growth to get into. We've seen what Cole has been doing. Especially, we know one thing for sure. He gonna be a buzzer beater. We know he's gonna be a clutch performer because he got that clutch in him. And RJ was very impressive. I was very high on RJ coming out of the draft last year. That's actually who I wanted the Magic to draft. We drafted Cole. And I was cool when we drafted Cole. I wasn't upset last year, even though I wanted RJ, but we drafted Cole. And then we ended up making a play to get and bring RJ here. And I really like that. And now you add Jalen Suggs to the mix. I think it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful backcourt with those guys back there. Honestly, I don't want the 8th pick to ruin what I feel about Jalen Suggs. That's why I'm going to do another video breaking down each player specifically. This is just my immediate reaction. And I was surprised that Jalen Suggs fell. Thank you, Toronto, for taking Scottie Barnes. I was so happy when Toronto, because I did not want the whole Scottie Barnes rumors coming up for Orlando. I was so happy that Toronto did the Magic a solid and drafted Scottie Barnes, so we didn't have to worry about that. I jumped up happy when they drafted Scottie Barnes, more so than I was when they drafted Jalen Suggs. So I was extremely happy that Toronto, basically, in my personal opinion, messed it up for themselves, drafted Scottie Barnes, and brought you Jalen Suggs, and just gift wrapped Jalen Suggs to you. Cool. I'm cool with that. And then everybody else was gift wrapping you 2 scores. I got a guy who I'm very high on Moses Moody. You know, he fell all the way down to 14 to Golden State. And I told y'all when I said why my floor and ceiling videos of where guys can fall. When I told y'all what I said that Golden State not letting him get past them again. He's not getting past Golden State twice. I said that, and there it is. And like I say, in Book Night. But both of them fell in good spots. Cause I said Boudin, I think he would benefit more playing on a team where he can be a guy by the end of the year, be the number 1, number 2 scoring option, and I think that's what's going to be. I think that's going to be the case in going to be the case in Charlotte. By the end of the season, Boudin is going to be at the very least the number 2 scorer on Charlotte. And I said that Moses Moody can benefit playing with Golden State, the way they play that ball just spread open with Clay and Steph, and Wiseman. He's going to get his shots. And then you got Kuminga over there. Like, Golden State basically got the draft that I wanted. They got Kuminga, they got Kuminga, and they got Moses Moody. Basically, what I predicted the Magic to do, they got in later picks. Instead of pick 5, got pick 7. Instead of pick 8, pick 14. So they basically said like so I was right about those two being on the same team eventually, but I was just wrong on the team to draft them and what number spots they was going in. But I think both of those, I think both Golden State and the Rockets and also not Sacramento, but Charlotte done well. I really do. And I think the Magic started off well, very well, with the 5th pick getting Jalen Suggs. And I think it's going to help out the Orlando Magic a whole lot. I'm very excited about Jalen Suggs. It's the 8th pick, this Franz Wagner pick. Franz Wagner, the forward out of Michigan. I know some people say he's a guard. He's not a guard. He's a forward. He's a forward out of Michigan. And I just don't see. I just think he's a role player. I'm sorry, I just don't see nothing special. I think he's a role player. When you had the opportunity to get, even though who knows, Jalen Suggs, I'm not Jalen Suggs, but Moses Moody and James Bouknight can end up being role players too down the line. I'm not disputing that, but at the very least, I think they have higher ceilings. They have higher potential because I think that Bouknight could potentially be an NBA scoring leader, and I believe at the very least that at the very least, that Moses Moody is a solid 3-and-D player, possible guy who could be a 6-man player of the year type caliber coming off the bench. Those two guys I would much rather have in the fold than Franz Wagner. Like I said, even though I know we got his brother Mo, it is what it is. But all in all, like I said, I think the Magic did well with that 5th pick. The 8th pick, really not so much. But who knows? Will remain to be seen. Who knows? I could be wrong. They might see something, or this might be something they use down the line for a bargaining chip, a trade asset, or somewhat. I mean, we hear the rumors about Terrence Ross, Gary Harris, and things like that. The teams are shopping around. The Knicks and other teams that have shopping around. You see what the Lakers just did, trying to get Westbrook. We're getting Westbrook. I can see another good basketball team want to give us some assets to get. To give us some assets to get Terrence Ross. Who knows? Maybe if we lucky, Golden State is that. They want to trade Moses Moody to acquire Terrence Ross and also have to give up some other things as well because they could use Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross could definitely help Golden State get over the hump the way he heats up and come microwave. So I think that maybe everything might not just be all out the woodworks just yet. That who knows? There may be some things down the pipeline can rear its head. And at the end of the day, we end up getting what we want and what we actually need for this Orlando Magic team. But all in all, like I said, I'm gonna do a video breaking down exactly the Suggs pick and exactly what I think about Suggs and how I think he'll fit with the Orlando Magic team and with this core because I think it'll fit very well. So like, share, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. I holla.